Okay, Manish. So I start करते हैं. Basically, when we're talking about the human resource development, means we have to convert human being in the resource form. Okay, and how we can convert the human being in the resource form? Until we not train them in a particular way, we can't convert in a particular resource. Resource means we can use these resources for the production process. Okay, means
Yes, sir.
we are going to make human being more productive in other sense. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so first of all, training is an essential part of extension work in order to develop competence in clients, means our target people, rural people to whom we are going to we want to develop them as a resource. Training is a sequential activity demanding systematic planning, execution, and follow-up. Okay, so selection and training of rural leaders is equally important to multiply extension efforts. So if you want to if you want to convert a whole mass of the rural people in a particular resource format, so it is actually it is one of the principle of extension education, that is local approach. Okay, principle of leadership development. We want to develop leadership, other than we have to contact these leaders, means those key communicators of any society who has better report, who can modify a lot of people simultaneously. So if you want to if you want to train a lot of people, it is one of the most important aspect that we have to first approach the local leaders. We have to train them. Further, through them we have to train these all rural mass. Okay. Training is a powerful tool in the hand of development professionals to catalyze human resources. Extension education puts emphasis on developing the quality of life of people in rural area by strengthening local leadership, self-reliance, and effective use of indigenous resources. It is here that training can be of immense help. Training of farmers, leaders, and extension personnel needed on continuous basis. Okay, so you can say that training it is just like the extension. It is a continuous process. Okay, we have to make in regular follow-up schedules. We have to make a in regular consideration process, such that we are going to improve further and further more improvement in the knowledge, skill, and attitude of the rural people. Then training refers to, then what is the training? It's a very important question. What is training basically? Then training refers to an act, process, or method of one who trains. Training indicates a planned activity to which a person is subjected to introduce learning. Training aims at behavioral changes to be used in life of or vacation. If you're talking about the behavioral changes, means we have to change the behavioral component. What are these behavioral components? That is CASA. I think you know that knowledge, skill, attitudes, and other attributes. Okay, basically knowledge, skill, and attitude. We have to change these behavioral components. According to Linton Parikh, they stated that training consists largely of well-organized opportunities for participants to acquire necessary understanding and skills. Training aims at lasting improvement of the job. The kind of education we call as training is not for knowing more but behaving differently. Just हमें कुछ जानना नहीं होता. We have to behaving differently means different कैसे behave करेंगे until unless we not going to change our behavioral component. And behavioral component कैसे change करें? We change our knowledge, skill, and attitude. Skill, what is skill? It is skill. It is the pattern of doing things and doing anything. It is called skill. So we have to change a pattern of doing anything. Okay. If you are, for example, we are practicing animal husbandry, so we have to, by training on the improved animal husbandry processes, improved animal husbandry practices, any farmer can change in their behavior to how he perform milking, how he perform handling process at their livestock farm. Okay, so this is the training. Then training is a planned and purposeful instruction. It is a non-formal kind of education. Training aims to improve performance of participants so that they can contribute to effectiveness of the group or organization they belong. Then training is linked with here and now affairs and requires immediate application to be used. In brief, training is an instrument to induce change in the behavior of individual for personal, social, and organizational effectiveness. Training is basically adult learning activity. Okay, training is basically adult learning. If you're talking about non-formal activity, there are two important things there. We have one target group, and we have to provide this target group, this selected group, on content training on the very selective topic, what they want. Means, for example, if in any village area they want training on the improved animal husbandry practices, means those all people only who want training on the improved animal husbandry practices, we have to provide selected content over the improved animal husbandry practices related content. Then what training can do, means what training can change, what training creates change. Okay, training can help people to develop job related skills, which it can develop self-awareness, interpersonal skills, achievement, motivation, and such other behavioral attributes. It can orient people to get equipped for learning culture in the organization, and it can update people with the current change in the technology. It is one of the very important concepts. What we told that training is a concurrent process. Okay, why training is a concurrent? For example, if we provide training to any target people, if we provide training to any target people, we have, okay, at one point of time we provide them information or training on a given type of technology, but as the technology advances with time, we have to further follow up them, and we have to further provide them training about the updated knowledge about that technology. Okay, so these are the purpose of these are the training which can create change. Then what, however, training is a very good thing, but there are a lot of limitation of the training. For example, training by itself cannot ensure learning unless participants are motivated. So motivation is very important factor in the training. Actually, without motivation, we can't change anything. We can't change the behavioral, those behavioral components. Okay, training alone cannot bring changes in organization, even if the participant learn new skills. They require facilities and support from work organizations to apply new knowledge. Then training is not one short affair. A person requires many exposures at different stages in career life. Okay, training may be of different kind. Okay, training is not solution to problem other than lack of competencies. Means training is not the solution of any problem. He is just training just creates competencies among the in farm. For example, if any farmers want to increase milk production in tons, okay, but he don't know about the improved milk production. So he got training about the improved milk production, and he got training, and he become aware, and he changed his attitude as per the he start practicing milk production. He start practicing improved milk production at their livestock farm, but unless and until he don't have such amount of capital that he can buy the capital, he can buy the livestock in such amount, reproductive livestock, then only he solves their problem. Then only he is able to produce tons of milk. Then it is very important question, what is the difference between training and education? Okay, then training, as we know, that training is the non-formal education, and training and education, they both look alike. Often they have both commonalities and differences. Education is vertically focused as it is aimed to prepare people for future roles. In higher education, students are taught courses. For example, veterinary students taught about the veterinary courses, animal husbandry courses, which they may use in future for their earning, for their livelihood sustainability. Okay. To the contrary, training is meant to provide knowledge and skill which people can apply in job. Okay. So that is the people and their need is specific. Training is that people and need is specific, but education is not the need is specific. Education just provides competencies to face the future problem, livelihood related problem. Then content of training are focused on the immediate needs at the workplace. Content of the subject matter areas covered in education are broad in nature so that students can gain general understanding and skills to adopt in society or get absorbed in job. Education in general and higher education in particular emphasis on development of attitude and knowledge. No doubt skills are also imparted to some extent. However, the aim of training is to provide the job skills to improve the job performance. Okay. Thus, it is said that education is generally for knowing more, whereas training is for behaving differently. Okay. In education, we have to just okay. In training, we have to just convert their behavioral. We have to change the behavioral component so that they can behave differently. But in education process, we have to just improve their knowing capabilities. Formal education is more rigid and structured, but training is a non-formal and flexible in nature. Even though differences between education and training look wider, there are exceptions too. Okay. Now the question is that how can training bring the change? Okay. There is always some criticism about this training that it does not usually lead to change. Training cannot necessarily lead to change unless due care is taken to bring desirable changes. Some of the important guidelines have been discussed below. On that basis, we can say that change can bring the change. First of all, motivation. Motivation is the most important factor in the training. That is motivation for training. Training is a vacuum which will not produce change. People do not necessarily learn better by attending top training program. Motivation is an important precondition for training. Training must be rewarding in work organization. People want to learn new things. If there is discrimination between ineffective and excellent work, then commitment at the top. Do the top bosses take training seriously? Okay. Commitment, presence, and expectations of top officers send positive signals down the ladders and enhance the participation. Okay. So commitment, there should be commitment from the higher authority. Then approaches of training. Training, how we are approaching the training, it is one of the most important factors. No doubt interest of participants in the course depends on trainers and their approach to training. Adult learner need respect, considerations of their experience as resources and involvement in decision making. It is about time that traditional approaches of expert is done away with. New trainers should become facilitator and resource person to assist in designing experiences and improve performance. Thus, emphasis should not be on individual strength and weakness and provision for maturing health. Okay, trainees should be participate in choosing content methods, activities, and use of time. Okay. Then cooperation between work organization and training institute. Training alone cannot help in bringing change. Equally important is the help and support of work organization for creative, suitable environment and facilities to apply new learning. Training must be rooted in local resources, problem and talent. There should be similarity between work environment and training environment so that transfer of learning is natural. Then everything what I have told, it is on one hand it is important, but another important concept in training is training must always be need based. Until there is no need of training, the training cannot be fruitful. Okay. Then training it is very important topic, that is training need assessment. Training need assessment. So it is very important that what is training need assessment, and what are different procedures through which we can assess the training needs of our individuals. And assessment of, if you're talking about the assessment of training needs, assessment of individual needs for training is first step toward designing course relevant to participant and their organization. Training need refers to the gap of individuals' current level of abilities and those desired to perform effectively. Training needs are expressed in terms of gap or deficiencies in attitude, knowledge, and skill. As you know, that what is need? Need is the difference between what is and what ought to be. It is the gap between these two situations. Actually, what is, it is a problematic situation, and what ought to be, it is the situation where everybody wants to be. It is that comfort zone where everybody wants to be at a particular given time. There are a number of methods to assess training, such as interview methods, questionnaires, observation, focus group discussions, informal talks, etc. Some common methods I'm discussing here, like personal interview. How you can assess the training needs of any target individual through their personal interview. Okay, individuals are contacted personally at their convenient, and relevant questions are asked in relaxed manner. Efforts are made to build rapport, clarify purpose, and proceed in natural conversational format. The questions should address current work behavior, problems, personal strength, weakness, and presence of training. This method is costly and time consuming. Alternatively, group interview may be conducted and diverse viewpoints may be clarified. The opinion of different segments of population can thus be collected without spending much time. Another is question. As you know, that what is the difference between interview schedule and questionnaire? Manish, are you know about difference between interview schedule and questionnaires?
Yes, sir.
What is difference between interview schedule and questionnaires?
सर इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल में सर हमारे द्वारा सर इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल में कुछ बेसिक चीजें होती हैं जो हमारे द्वारा पूछे जाती हैं, जैसे कि नाम क्या है, कहाँ से हैं, क्या आप जानते हैं। तो उनके द्वारा कुछ नॉलेज, कुछ ऐसी नॉलेज होती हैं जो हम नहीं जानते हैं, फिर भी वो बतलाते हैं। तो ये इस तरह के क्वेश्चन जो होते हैं वो इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल में आते हैं सर। अगर ऐसा कुछ क्वेश्चन हम डेवलप करते हैं, जैसे कि क्या आप जानते हैं मस्टाइटिस में क्या हम यूज करेंगे, या फिर मस्टाइटिस क्या है, तो इस क्वेश्चनायर इस तरह के होंगे जो हम पूछेंगे उसी का वो आंसर देंगे। इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल में हम जो पूछेंगे उससे कुछ ज्यादा भी आंसर वो देंगे।
पंकज सर आएंगे क्या? पंकज सर हाँ तो मैं दे दो ना। हेलो मनीष।
यस सर।
हाँ, but okay, what you are saying, it is good, but what is the basic difference between interview schedule and questionnaire? In question, what you were asking, if you want to contact any target people, what will the difference between the interview schedule and the questionnaire? What is the procedural differences in between these two processes? Manish?
Sir, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm telling. Okay, देखो जो इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल होता है वो हम फेस टू फेस डाटा कलेक्ट करते हैं। इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल में हमेशा फेस टू फेस डाटा कलेक्ट किया जाता है, लेकिन जो क्वेश्चनर होता है हमेशा उसको मेल किया जाता है। जब आप किसी क्वेश्चनर को आप मेल कर दो किसी को, तो दैट विल बी कॉल्ड क्वेश्चनर। Okay, it is the difference between questionnaire and interview schedule. Questionnaire are always mailed, okay, but interview schedule are the face to face conversion and collection of data. Okay.
Okay.
So question is also another method of training need assessment, where the printed set of questions arranged in logical order are economic to get response from people located at a distance. But the matter lagging in this question is that response rate is very low. Question, however, requires careful wording and formulation of a statement that stimulate desired response. Specific and close-ended questions that require choosing response from options provided are easy to tabulate. Questionnaires should be self-explanatory because nobody is there for explaining any question. So questions should be self-explanatory. The question must relate to the nature of work, area in which individuals are deficient, level of difficulties in performance, reasons, and the problem of poor performance, type of knowledge and skill required. Okay. Likewise, observation. It is the another method of the training need assessment. In this method, training need can be assessed by observing people at work. Every task requires a number of steps to be completed with efficiency. Direct observation of these steps with help of structured schedule can be provide evidence of current abilities. Observation can be supplemented with discussion. Okay, so these are the major tools or methods through which we can assess the training needs. Okay, so now the question, why the training need is important. मनीष ये बताओ किसी का ट्रेनिंग नीड हम assess ही क्यों करते हैं? It is a very important question. Why we are going to assess the training need?
सर ट्रेनिंग नीड असेसमेंट इसलिए करते हैं क्योंकि हम जो ट्रेनिंग दे रहे हैं, हम जो टेक्नोलॉजी दे रहे हैं, उनका क्या रिस्पांस है, उन पर उनको लाभ हो रहा है या फिर वो इस चीज को एडॉप्ट कर रहे हैं या नहीं। क्योंकि ट्रेनिंग का पूरा मकसद होता है कि पहले अवेयर करना, उसके बाद नए टेक्नोलॉजी को देना, उसके बाद उनका फीडबैक भी लेना कि हाँ आपने उस चीज को किया कि नहीं, ये आपके लिए फ्रूटफुल है या नहीं, वाइबल है या नहीं। इसलिए हमें फीडबैक लेना।
वो टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए वाइबल नहीं है तो फिर क्या उसकी नीड क्या निकल के आए? अगर आप किसी टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में किसी से आप पूछते हो कि क्या आपको ये फ्रूटफुल है कि नहीं, वो बोलता है नहीं है, तो उसके लिए आपको क्या समझ में आया, तो उसकी नीड क्या है?
फिर सर तो फिर उसको असेसमेंट करते हैं और वहीं पर सर रिकंसिडरेशन करके हम फिर से नया अगर कोई प्रोग्राम प्लेस कर रहे हैं या फिर नया कोई ट्रेनिंग एडवाइस कर रहे हैं, तो उस जगह पर उनके जो प्रॉब्लम आ रहे थे उस टेक्नोलॉजी को वाइबल या एडॉप्ट करने में, उसको कंसीडर करते हुए कोई नया टेक्नोलॉजी उनको देंगे जो उनके लिए वाइबल हो। जैसे कि हम अगर कोई व्यवसायिक रूप से अगर पोल्ट्री फार्मिंग किसी किसान को दे रहे हैं, तो पहले देखना होगा कि उनका इकोनॉमिक स्टेटस क्या है। अगर हम दे रहे हैं तो वो एडॉप्ट कर पाएगा कि नहीं। अगर नहीं कर पाएगा तो उसको जो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट में 1-2 पहले मुर्गा देंगे, उसके बाद उनको व्यवसायिक रूप से ढालने का प्रयास करेंगे, सच टाइप।
ओके, पहले की मतलब वो टेक्नोलॉजी यूज नहीं कर रहा तो पहले तो हमें उनकी नीड देखनी पड़ेगी ना, वो मुर्गा पालना भी चाहता है कि नहीं। अगर वो नहीं पालना चाहता तो आप जबरदस्ती बैकयार्ड पोल्ट्री फार्मिंग करा तो नहीं लोगे।
नहीं सर, उनके इंटरेस्ट के ऊपर से उनकी आय को बढ़ाने के लिए वहीं पर तो हमारा मोटिवेशन जो हम उनको अवेयर करेंगे कि आप अगर आपके पास खाने के लिए भी नहीं है मगर आप 1-2 मुर्गा रख लेंगे तो आपका जो फूड रिक्वायरमेंट है जो वो भी पूरा हो जाएगा। आपका जो प्रोटीन रिक्वायरमेंट है,
व्हाट आई एम सेइंग कि वो ऑलरेडी 1-2 मुर्गा रखा हुआ है, लेकिन आप चाहते हो कि आप उसको अच्छी टेक्नोलॉजी देने का मतलब आप उसको अच्छी वैरायटी का मुर्गा देना चाहते हो। ठीक है, आपने उसको अच्छी वैरायटी का मुर्गा दिया, लेकिन उसके पास प्रोडक्शन परफॉर्मेंस नहीं आया। ट्रेनिंग का रोल कहां पर आया? ट्रेनिंग का रोल क्या, हम उसको जब नई टेक्नोलॉजी दे रहे थे वहां पर रोल आया। यहाँ पर उसका क्या रोल था? ठीक है, उसने पहले वो पुराना मुर्गे रेयरिंग कर रहा था, पुराने ढंग से अपना पोल्ट्री फार्मिंग कर रहा था, लेकिन उसको प्रॉफिट नहीं था, तो आपने क्या किया, उसको इम्प्रूव वैरायटी ऑफ मतलब दिया। क्या यहाँ पर ट्रेनिंग का कोई रोल है?
ये सर उनको वहां पर ये रोल होगा कि सर उनको अवेयर करेंगे कि आप इसको वैक्सीन भी दीजिए जिससे कि किसी तरह का आपको नुकसान ज्यादा मेजर रूप से ना हो, और जो आप पाल रहे हैं उसमें आप उसका सैनिटेशन वगैरह, हाइजीन वगैरह का भी ध्यान रखिए जिससे कि आपको ज्यादा लॉस ना हो, किसी भी तरह का आउटब्रेक ना हो डिजीज का।
इसको नॉलेज इंप्रूव करें, मतलब आप उसको अवेयर करेंगे कि हाँ वैक्सीनेशन दिया जाता है, वैक्सीनेशन देने से बीमारियां बचेंगी, मतलब आप उनका नॉलेज कंपोनेंट इंक्रीज करना चाहते हैं। यही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ, यही तो आप कह रहे हो।
यस सर, यस।
इसमें ट्रेनिंग कहाँ?
यस सर, यस सर।
इसमें ट्रेनिंग कहाँ गई? ये तो आप नॉर्मल कैंप लगा के उनको अवेयर कर सकते हो, इसमें ट्रेनिंग कहाँ गई? ट्रेनिंग कैंप लगाते क्या ऐसे? इसमें ट्रेनिंग
सर जो ट्रेनिंग ये जो कैंप लगा के हम कर सकते हैं, तो कैंप में सिर्फ हम उनको बतला सकते हैं, मगर जो ट्रेनिंग हम देंगे वहां पर उनको बतलाएंगे भी, साथ में प्रैक्टिकल भी करके दिखाएंगे कि देखो भाई ऐसे ऐसे हाइजीन को मेंटेन किया जाता है, ठीक ना। तो वहां पर वो
ज्यादा नॉलेज के अलावा दूसरा कौन सा कंपोनेंट इन्वॉल्व हो रहा है जिसको ट्रेनिंग से ज्यादा?
प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपोजर। प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपोजर
बिहेवियरल कंपोनेंट बताया ना अभी, मतलब कुछ बिहेवियरल कंपोनेंट होते हैं, नॉलेज, स्किल, एटीट्यूड, ठीक है। ट्रेनिंग बेसिकली किससे कंसर्न करता है?
स्किल से सर,
स्किल से करता है। स्किल कब होगी? देखो पहले हमने जब उसको कैंप लगा, पहले हम उसको अवेयर कर लेंगे, आप इसको, हम आपको एक नया वैरायटी दे रहे हैं, नया वैरायटी को अवेयर करिए। हो सकता है कि नया वैरायटी का आप उसको पहले अवेयर करेंगे भी आप इसको ऐसे से करिए, लेकिन बाद में जाके आप देख रहे हैं कि नहीं, उसके पास वो प्रोडक्शन परफॉर्मेंस नहीं आ पा रहा है, तो आप उसकी नीड देखोगे ना कि उसकी नीड कहाँ पर है। क्या हर एक चीज को फिर से आप उसको बैठाओगे? नहीं, आप उसका जाके पर्टिकुलर क्या करोगे, आप उससे पूछोगे कि आप कोई प्रोसीजर कैसे करते हो, वैक्सीन कैसे देते हो, ठीक है, कैसे साफ सफाई मेंटेन, हाइजीन और सैनिटेशन कैसे मेंटेन करते हो फार्म पे, ये चीज आपसे पूछोगे, आप उसको देखोगे, ठीक है। वो बताएगा कि साहब हम ऐसे ऐसे काम करते हैं, ऐसे ऐसे ये चीजों को करते हैं, इतना फीड देते हैं, इतना ये देते हैं, उतना वो देते हैं, तो आपको समझ में आएगा ना कि इसको एक दिन में इतना फीड देना चाहिए था, ये इतना ही फीड दे रहा है। अगर इसको मंथली कितना, मतलब इसका वैक्सीनेशन शेड्यूल ये है और ये इसको गलत ढंग से प्रॉपर फॉलो कर रहा है, इसको वैक्सीन देने ही नहीं आता, ठीक है। तो ये इसके स्किल कंपोनेंट है जो आपको नीड के रूप में पता चलेगा कि आपको इसकी इस स्किल कंपोनेंट पे काम करने की जरूरत है। तो जो आप वहां से सॉर्ट आउट करो नहीं, आपको इसी स्किल पे काम करने की जरूरत है, तब आपको उसकी वो नीड समझ में आए कि वास्तव में उसको किस चीज की ट्रेनिंग की जरूरत है। आई बात समझ? टेक्नोलॉजी तो आपने उसको दे दी कि हाँ आप इस टेक्नोलॉजी अडॉप्ट करिए, लेकिन टेक्नोलॉजी से वो प्रोडक्टिव नहीं ले पा रहा है, प्रोडक्शन नहीं ले पा रहा है, उससे वो इफिशियंट नहीं हो पा रहा, तो उसकी इफिशियंसी कैसे इंक्रीज करेगा? तो हम उसको नई टेक्नोलॉजी थोड़ी दे देंगे, अरे अच्छा ये मुर्गा नहीं छोड़ो तुम अगला वाला ये दूसरी वैरायटी के पास, ये तो नहीं कर सकते हम उसको। हम क्या करेंगे, जो हमने उसको प्रोवाइड किया वो वास्तव में बहुत अच्छी वैरायटी है, और आप इसको ऐसे करिए। हम आपको सिखाते हैं कि वैक्सीन कैसे दिया जाता है, हम आपको बताएंगे कि भाई फीडिंग कैसे कराई जाती है, वाटरिंग कैसे की जाती है, सैनिटेशन कैसे मेंटेन किया जाता है, हाइजीन और सैनिटेशन कैसे मेंटेन करेंगे पोल्ट्री फार्म पे, हम आपको ये चीज बताएंगे, बाड़ा कैसे बनाइए। तो हम जब उसको चीजों पर ट्रेंड करेंगे तो हम उसका कौन सा स्किल कंपोनेंट इंप्रूव करेंगे। ओके, जब हम स्किल कंपोनेंट, तो वो उसी प्रैक्टिस में वो जो हमने उसको टेक्नोलॉजी बताई वो उसमें हायर प्रोडक्शन अचीव कर सकेगा। दिस इज द मेन मोटो ऑफ द डेट ट्रेनिंग, दिस इज ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम। ओके, दिस इज ट्रेनिंग।
यस सर,
आई बात सर? ठीक है, आज के लिए इतना रहने देते हैं।
यस सर, यस,
ठीक है,
ठीक है, थैंक यू सर।
आज कोई चीज समझ में ना आई हो तो पूछ लो।
नहीं सर, ठीक है।
ओके, कुछ और पूछ लेना, ठीक है।